My last flying lesson was a frustrating experience. Things which I previously could do, I now couldn't do. I had expected to progress to flying slowly and maybe even doing some stalls and some spins, and I went backwards instead to doing straight and level flight again, which I'd already covered. I thought I'd got video recording working and ended up with this. And I thought I had the audio recording working and it sounded like this. And it was quite frustrating to not be able to do things that I could do only a few weeks before. And yet it was still worth having an hour's flying, even if I found it frustrating. I still picked some things up which I'll be able to use going forward. First of all, I hadn't flown for 4 weeks for various reasons. I was away, my instructor was away, the weather wasn't good 1 week, and so I'd had quite a gap between my previous lesson and this one. And I realised how quickly I de-skilled when I wasn't in the saddle. Previously, it had felt like I was making controlled adjustments to the control surfaces and I was able to control the aircraft. And this time, it just felt like I was chasing the aircraft around the sky and I could never get the thing to settle. And as I got frustrated, that just made things even worse because I was trying even harder and I was focusing on instruments when I wasn't looking outside, and everything just spiraled. And what the instructor did for a while was cover up the instrument panel with a bit of paper just so I would stop looking there and actually focus outside. It was windy enough that it was decided it was unsafe to go out for a second flight that day, and so I left even more frustrated that I couldn't practice what I hadn't been able to do in the previous flight. But thinking about it, it was better to cut my losses, go back home, have a think about it, and think about what I'd actually learned in the session. Sometimes I can see I'm going to feel like I'm stepping back if I've taken time off, or if I'm just having a bad day. I'm not going to have completely linear progression as I'm learning to fly. That is frustrating, but that's a fact of life and I've just got to deal with it. It was definitely useful practicing flying in windy conditions and avoiding looking at the instruments when I was up in the sky, because I was fixating on them because I was finding it difficult to keep everything straight and level. And actually, straight and level flight is never a bad thing to practice. So all in all, it was frustrating, but I got something out of it. So I'll just look forward to the next lesson.